Bills and the Chiefs. Chiefs are doing some sort of devil voodoo magic. It is absurd the ways in which they are winning games. The Chiefs are 9-0 right now. They won off of a blocked kick, blocked last-minute field goal by the Broncos. It amazes me how they do it. So winners win, though. That's all that matters. Chiefs traveled to Buffalo to face off against the Bills. The Bills are 2.5-point home favorites. It's a 45.5-point total game. The model is actually seeing a bit more of a discrepancy than Vegas. Model likes the Bills 25, Chiefs 20. So we can dive into that here in a little bit. But, dude, you can just feel how bad this Bills fan base, this Bills team, Josh Allen, how bad they want this win on Sunday. Yep. Everything has kind of built up to this moment. The past 3 years of the Bills just not being able to get past the Chiefs, you can feel the buildup and the tension and how badly this team wants to beat the Chiefs. So, BJ, I don't know about you, but it's like, are they putting too much pressure on themselves to beat this Chiefs team? Because they're really, I personally think that the Bills are, the better team, in my opinion, from a statistical perspective, from maybe a team that's a little bit more capable of being explosive right now on the offensive side. But it's one of those things where it's like, is it a mind game? Do you think the Bills are putting too much pressure on themselves to go and to play the Chiefs and beat them?
It's 100% a mind game. It's all in their heads. It's the only thing Josh Allen thinks about at night is losing to stupid Pat's face. But regardless, they match up every year. And do you have the splits on that? How many games have the Bills actually won? Because it's like one. It's only like 1 or 2. Mahomes has got to be like 6-2 or something with Josh. Got to be.
Yeah.
While you're looking that up, I do want to point out that, yes, the Chiefs are sold their soul to the devil to get a three-peat because they should not be winning these games, what they're doing so far. You got to pull it up.
It's kind of hard to find those exact splits.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. 2019, Chiefs won. They're 1-1 in 2019. 2020, Chiefs won twice. So 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. I think the Chiefs have like
1 game ahead
or 2 games ahead.
Yeah.
I would have to dig deeper into that. It's hard to find the exact splits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, pressure's
They
on.
should not be 9-0. I'm gonna start with that. They should not be 9-0. The Chiefs should not be. Should have lost all 3 of their games.
It's wild. I mean, kudos to the Chiefs, man. I do think they're a great team. Their defense is actually really, really good. Spagnuolo, again, dude deserves all the credit. He's a phenomenal defensive mind. He's coaching up a great game. Nick Bolton's a great defensive leader. It's just, it's not the typical Chiefs team that we see. They're really not that explosive on the offensive side. I think they're slowly putting it together, and it's just, you're really seeing the kind of the football knowledge between Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes pay off here. They're not winning with explosive, dynamic plays. They're winning with just doing everything right and doing enough to make sure that they win those games. And so they're going to need some explosive plays on Sunday against this Bills team. So I think that's what I will be watching, particularly in this game, is the Chiefs really haven't had to like break out the, the deep ends of the playbook and get creative. They haven't had to really rely on, the speed and the explosiveness of any of their players either. Not that they really have, DeAndre Hopkins has, added some life into this offense, but, Xavier Worthy just hasn't been the explosive option that they were hoping for as of late. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of game that they call and see how much of a technician that Patrick Mahomes can be. But when we look at this game, let's talk about what the model is seeing here. Buffalo offense is 5th overall in EPA per play, 13th overall in success rate. Chiefs defense is 10th overall in EPA per play allowed, 12th overall in defensive success rate. Pretty strong against the run. They only allow 88 yards per game on the ground. That's good for 5th in the league. So we'll see how what the game plan is. We know Josh Allen is phenomenal with his legs. James Cook has really become a force. And then Ray Davis is a surprise splash player who can make an impact in that type of the game. Kansas City offense, man, while they are not doing anything explosive, they're like, bottom third ranking in explosive plays, total explosive plays generated. But, Beej, they are 10th overall in EPA per play, and they are first overall in success rate. That's what we're talking about. We don't see the explosive plays, but every play that they call has some sort of meaning to it. They really have no negative plays. And I think that's kind of the value that we're seeing out of the Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. They don't create negative plays. The 4-yard stick routes or the drag routes to DeAndre Hopkins, it doesn't look good, especially when it only gains 2, 3, 4 yards. But they do it consistently, and it chews up clock, and you just can't stop it. And so I think that's what, people don't really see the excitement that they used to see with the Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid offense. But you got to take into consideration that they don't have to be, or they haven't had to be up until this point. They're doing so much right, and they're creating so little negative plays that they're just getting away. They're perfectly fine running the offense the way that they're doing it. So it's one of those things where, like, the stats tell us what the stats tell us. They're not leading categories, and rushing or passing yards per game. They're like mid-tier in the league and all of that. But in the underlying metrics, they're a successful offense. So that's one thing that the Bills are going to have to stop. They absolutely can do so. 18th overall in EPA per play allowed, 8th overall in defensive success rate. So they're prone to giving up explosive plays, but they're consistently better more often than not. You can rush on this Buffalo defense. They're 31st overall in rushing yards per attempt allowed, allowing 5.3 rushing yards per attempt. So could be a Kareem Hunt game for all we know. And BG, you had some news about Isaiah Pacheco. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I just heard saw some reports that they were eyeing his return off of injury reserve for this game. So we'll see in the next couple days. He did fracture his fibula. What week was it? Week 2?
2 or 3. It was very early in the season.
Yeah, and they were projecting a 6 to 8 week injury at that, which is right on time here. And it's a bone, not soft tissue. So if it's healed up to go, then it shouldn't be a lot of nagging issues there. And that would just provide a lot more of an explosive dynamic to the Chiefs. Everyone knows Jose Pacheco. He's like as he's running. But I do want to mention, I think Kareem Hunt hasn't had a rush for more than like 13 yards all season. So they have no explosion in the run game. But if they're able to put Pacheco back in there, limited number of plays probably, then that adds a different dynamic. But I actually wanted to ask you, Harrison, on the other side of the ball. You mentioned Spagnuolo having a great defensive season so far with the guys they have out there. Now the Bills might be without Keon Coleman again. Could be without Amari Cooper, and Dalton Kincaid got banged up. So that would leave Curtis Samuel, Matt Collins,
and
Dawson Knox, and Khalil Shakir. And so my question to you is, with how good the Chiefs have been playing on the defensive side, do you think that the Bills will have enough to be able to get it done with all those injuries?
Yeah. I'm actually projecting Amari Cooper to be in and Keon Coleman to be out. So, while they won't be getting Keon back, they will be getting Amari Cooper. I think Dawson, or excuse me, having the offense, getting those players back, Amari Cooper, but not Keon Coleman. I think it's going to hurt. But one thing that we know is that this offense, it doesn't really operate through anybody other than Josh Allen. Right. And so, of course it hurts not having all of his weapons on the field at one time. But at the same time, it's like, how much can you attribute to, how much do you ding them for that? And so one thing we've seen too is they've adopted this game of, they really, really, really want to establish the run game off the rip. And so we see a lot more James Cook. We see some Ray Davis mixed in. And then, of course, Josh Allen does Josh Allen things with his legs. And the offense has kind of run through that. And so from there, that's where they create, plays in the passing game. And with that, we've seen big games from anybody and everybody. We've seen the passing game operate through Khalil Shakir in one game. We've seen Mac Hollins have a multi-touchdown game. We've seen Curtis Samuel have some big plays. And now Amari Cooper coming back, or at least I'm projecting Amari Cooper to be back this week. You throw him into the mix, he could have a big game for all we know. So it's one of those things where it hurts. Yes, I don't want to say that it doesn't matter. It definitely matters not having all of your playmakers on the field, but the way that this offense operates is it's a next man up mentality. And so I think that, with as long as Josh Allen is on that field, with one or two, crucial guys, guys like Amari Cooper, James Cook, Ray Davis, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, even he plays a bigger role than a lot of people even realize in this offense. So as long as a core set of those guys are on the field, I expect this offense to produce, and it'll be one of the biggest matchups that I will be watching in this game is Josh Allen against Spags, because that they're going to have a heavy set game plan to come after Josh Allen and try and minimize the explosive plays that he can create for himself. I like the Bills here. I think they finally break the streak. I am worried about the pressure factor, but this game's in Buffalo. From what I've seen from both teams, I think the Bills have the ability to create more explosive plays on the offense. And if they can land 1, 2, 3 even of those explosive plays, in a chain, I think they can put themselves ahead and then do the most to try and minimize what this Chiefs offense can do. So it's going to be a tough game. I don't expect any team to pull away at any point in the game. It will be close. It could very easily come down to a last minute kick. But I do have confidence in this Bills offense and this Bills defense to get it done at Buffalo at home. Beach, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll come down to the last minute like it normally does. Because of that, I'm going to be on the side of safeness, and I'm going to take the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover the 2.5, mostly because they, sold their souls to the devil. And I also think that based upon last week, them almost losing to the Broncos, should have lost to the Broncos, I think a lot of people will look at this 2.5, and there will be a lot of money on that side for the Bills. And so I'm going to go the opposite direction of that because I just think the Chiefs win. And it'll be close either way. But if you're giving me some points with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, I'm going to take the points.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, add it to the beer bet list. We love it. And honestly, this game could very well be a coin flip for all we know. But
that's what it is in the playoffs.
It'll be. I know, right? Literally, last one get all wins. So we should change that.